if you've forgotten that, I am an Agzoba. So now we're celebrating another Agzoba on the program. If you don't know what an Agzoba is, an alumni of Abeokuta Grammar School. Thank you. Okay, we'll be celebrating a Nobel laureate here on the program, celebrating Professor Wole Soyinka at 91, and we have someone here who is not just here to celebrate him, but also the chairman of Wole Soyinka at 91. His name is Engineer Tokunbo Odebomi. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning everyone at home.
Okay.
Thank you for having me this morning.
You're most welcome. Would you like to take the lead?
Oh, no problem. Let's start this way. You had a committee that is celebrating, I'll call him a global icon, not just an icon in Nigeria or Africa. I'm talking about Professor Wole Soyinka. Before we get down to what your committee is all about, I know quite a number of people, if we are talking about a global icon, that is, it's not someone that we need to talk more about. But to you, as a person beyond your committee, who is Professor Wole Soyinka?
Well, I think that's a tough one because Professor Soyinka is not somebody that somebody can just describe in a summary like that. He has come from different perspectives, different spheres of life. If you look at him from culture, if you look at him from tribal life, if you look at him as a human being created by God, if you look at him as a Nigerian or a human being, you describe him differently in all those phases. So to be tough to, in a summary, describe him other than to say, if you use Yoruba culture, you say somebody you can call an Abami. If you want to use English, somebody you can describe as an effigy, or how do you want to put an unusual person who cannot be described as a normal human being. And he's just a great man, and in anything that he puts his hand, he excels. He has done so much for humanity in terms of philanthropy, gestures. He has done so much to save the weak by speaking out in the face of tyranny, and governments didn't care about people. He was bold enough to come out to speak. He had gone as far as trying to stop a government because of the love he has for the people. Not because he wasn't comfortable, but he knew that the people will suffer most if he didn't take those steps. So if somebody that has gone that far has to be described, you see that you will be describing him from a lot of areas of endeavor. To be difficult to just in a sentence describe him. But he's a great leader, it's a great gift to Nigeria, to Africa, and to Egbaland.
Okay, now let's go to the reason why you are here. You're here to talk about the celebrating him at 91. So now there's a committee in which you are the chairman. How did the committee select this year's theme, if there is a theme for this year's celebration, and what exactly is the message that you would hope to convey to the public, especially what is the reason for the celebration?
Well, let's start from how the committee came into being in the first instance. Kabiyesi the Alake and Paramount ruler of Egbaland believes in celebrating Wole Soyinka. Not only this year, he did last year too, celebrated his 80th birthday. He put together 90th birthday. He put together that committee last year also. And according to him, he said he's very committed to continue to celebrate him for as long as he is alive and Wole Soyinka is even alive. Even after death, if it's possible, of the occasions where we look at his posthumous life and he will celebrate him. So he was the one that directed that the committee be put together to look at how we can celebrate him. In addition to that, there's Professor B. Afonja, who has put together a book that he feels that he wants. Kabiyesi also believed that that book should be launched on that occasion of a celebration. The title of the book is Celebrating a Literary Genius of Uncommon Courage. And that book is going to be launched on Sunday, the 13th of July, which is the birthday of Wole Soyinka at June 12 Cultural Center. And in addition to the book launch, you know, Soyinka believes in good governance. So a lecture is going to also be delivered with the title Good Governance by an expert in that field, Professor Taiwo from Abuja. Then there will be discussants who will talk into the lecture, and then we'll take something home. We also believe that we shouldn't wait until forever before we start developing another Nobel laureate. After all, how did it start? It started his literary life from primary school, then to the secondary school. So the committee believes that if you start to catch secondary school students young at their level, at the secondary school level, particularly those in the literary arts, and then you start to identify them, encourage them, so that we'll start developing another Nobel laureate for the future. So a debate was put together with other artworks that will be done by students from secondary schools. In 20 schools, we're starting with 20 schools this year. Next year, we'll extend it beyond 20 schools. It will now be a national program that they will now compete over, and prizes will be won. And such prizes will be funded from any book launch that comes every year that is celebrated, so that there's a continuity while encouraging the students to develop their literary talents. We also have a prize for them, and we also try and encourage a lecture to wake up government, because that's what Professor Soyinka stands for anyway, and then using proceeds from such book launch to fund and continue to fund development of youths.
Okay, as a follow-up question, because she also asked about the theme, maybe that actually escaped you. If there's a theme, we don't know if there's a theme for the celebration for all of these programs. But the other question that I want to ask as a follow-up to all of all of those that you've said is the fact that you've mentioned 3 activities that are lined up to celebrate at the global icon at 91. Talk about the book launch, the lecture, and the debates. The question is that are there some other programs? Maybe you can give us a comprehensive, schedule of the programs that are lined up, because I read somewhere that there's going to be a drama or thereabout that is starting today to celebrate him, that will run up until the 13th. That is Sunday, on the day is going to be celebrating. Or maybe that is not part of what your committee has put together. Maybe it's another set of people. So I just want you to speak to that, the entire schedule of activities lined up to celebrate Professor Wole.
Yeah, it's a debate that has started, because debate is competitive, and it has started, and it's going to run into tomorrow to be concluded. Then the winners will be presented their prizes on 13th, which is Sunday. In addition, just like we already said, there are dramas, there are plays. We have picked things that Wole Soyinka stands for and areas of his endeavor and his interest to celebrate him. This year's celebration is on a low-key level, and the Ogun State government is also deeply involved in the planning and the execution of the celebration. And you see, Wole Soyinka is just somebody, he's an icon that we cannot just allow his birthday to just pass. So that's why we have put together areas of his interest in celebrating him. Most importantly is the development of youths towards literary endeavor and excellence, with the view of looking up to one day, one of these youths will also develop a talent, and then we'll have another Nobel laureate coming from Ogun State.
Engineer, you've mentioned His Majesty the Alaki of Igbaland, who is very well involved in this celebration. You also briefly mentioned the Ogun State government, that the government of Ogun State is also involved. I was actually itching to hear you say something about international bodies, more collaborations, more teamwork, not just from the local spec, not just from the local Ogun State perspective, but more international, since it's a global icon. I was actually expecting you to say things from that perspective. So do you have any collaborations from international bodies?
We do, but you see, because this year's celebration is on a low-key level, we are not making so much noise about it because everything is not going to finish on the 13th. There are still some other programs that are going to follow up with the 13th in the UK and some in the United States of America by different groups who are collaborating.
And these follow-up programs, are they accessible by Nigerians?
Yeah, they're Nigerians,
okay,
but they're the ones putting them together.
No, what Lara is saying is that can Nigerians actually, maybe a stream, how can Nigerians actually follow up with
exactly, and participate, not just
be part of the global, the one in UK and
celebration.
That's what I'm saying, that even the one in UK is organized by Nigerians.
Okay.
Fully.
Wow.
And they're on ground, and they're from Ogun State.
Wow.
But you see, because we don't want to localize the celebration of Wole Soyinka, that's why I say, okay, why we do some celebrations at the local level? We also need to take it beyond the shores of Nigeria to celebrating internationally, so that those who don't have the opportunity to attend the ones in there, they can participate in the one externally in the UK and so on, and America, and still honor him. Majority of the people who are involved are just interested in a payback for him, because they trust and they believe and they appreciate what he has done to humanity, and they believe that such people should be celebrated, and that's why they have those programs. There's a program that is going to come on sometime in August in the UK. Right, the details are not here with me, but if you're interested, I'll link you up with it's put together by Teju Karim, Zed Miraj, and a group of other Nigerians, including Ibukule Amosun and a couple of other people. And it's not a program that is one-off. It's an annual program, and it happens every year. That's for those in the UK. Then for those in the United States of America, there are Nigerians too who are also celebrating him.
Okay, maybe I should also come in with this perspective, as based on the conversation we've had so far, because, I know what she was trying to say is that, okay, if they're doing it in UK, I'm in Nigeria, and I love the Nobel laureate, I want to follow, how do I get to see what they're doing in the UK? So, and that will take me to the question that I want to ask, that, this is an era, the world is a global village now. Do you have any maybe social media handles for the celebration? Maybe
for the Sunday celebration.
For this Sunday celebration.
Yes, we do. If you want the details, I'll give you before I leave the studio. And it's also, the invitation is also online. Okay. And there are a lot of people who participate or attend the celebration online, all over the world, and to be covered by YouTube and other social media handles.
I'm really glad you brought that into the discussion, because I was just about to ask you if all these events, celebrations are being archived, because if they're being documented for future references, just for academic use, for younger generations that are coming up, so they can get to understand and know better who Professor Wole Soyinka is.
Well, there is full recordings of all the programs, and there's good storage of all the programs, even the ones that we have done in the past. We still have them in the library, that we refer to them, study them, because after this program, we are still going to sit down over it and critique it and learn from here and there and pick errors and see areas of improvement, and then go into that to plan the subsequent years and so on.
Before you get to the critique stage, I'm sure there are challenges you must have faced in the past while organizing this kind of event. Would you like to share any of those challenges?
I don't know how to particularly situate challenges to a particular event, because challenges is global. In anything that a man does, there will be challenges. The challenges of yesterday may be different from the challenges of today. So challenges will surely come, but we address them from time to time. One regular challenge sometimes is funding, because Professor Soyinka, by his nature, will not believe that we should go cap in hand to people to raise funds to celebrate him. He will not like that. So, and if you plan and people that you have planned with are not forthcoming, you have to readjust And then those are minor, should we call them challenges or regular?
I'm sorry, funding is not a minor challenge. It's a huge challenge. I mean, the funding is the fundamental basis of organizing an event.
Yes.
So
if you plan and the plan doesn't fall as into the dot as planned, you have to adjust and move on. But it's only when you overblow it as if it's a major problem, that's when it weighs you down. Challenges are bound to come to life. And if you take it that way, you know that you have no problems. In anything you do, just move forward.
I think it's also important because we spoke about, we've been able to talk about, collaborations at the state level, at international level, but we've not really been able to talk about the national level. And I know recently, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we all know, honored Professor Wole Soyinka. So at the national level, is there anything in terms of collaboration coming from the federal government with your committee to actually celebrate this year's birthday of Professor Wole Soyinka?
You know, we spoke about different group of people celebrating Wole Soyinka. This committee that we are talking about was put together by Kabiyesi Alaki. There are still so many other people who have put together some programs to celebrate Wole Soyinka. And there have been collaborations at the national level, there have been collaborations at the state level. For instance, this one is in collaboration with Ogun State particularly. You know, the governor of Ogun State cherishes this man and adores him and he gives him absolute respect. So Ogun State is deeply involved. The Egba nation is deeply involved. There are a lot of individuals who have also donated towards making sure that the program is successful. Ministry of Education is brought in because there's no how you use students of the secondary schools without bringing in Ministry of Education. Ministry of Culture and Tourism is seriously brought in because the program is a cultural center. There are a lot of cultural groups that are coming to play. There will be drama, there will be cultural display, there will be so many other things that are cultural too. So those areas of collaboration, they keep on going on and going on. Even the media is involved because I remember Chief Remi Adetayo is also talking to some media practitioners and they are collaborating in this particular program.
Yeah, as we begin to round up, there is this question that actually comes to my mind, and I think is very, very important because people's life change by mere watching, programs, TV and what have you, and that is part of what a television station is meant for.
Like media is such a genius.
Media generally, we are to enlighten, inform, educate, do a whole lot. And I want to say this to you, and I don't know how you're going to be able to put it together. I want you to talk to anybody that is watching today, because that may be the turning point in the life of such person. How you want Professor Wole Soyinka's life to actually inspire people out there to achieve greater things in life. Because like I said, that inspiration that you are going to be talking about today may be a game changer or a life-changing moment for someone watching this program.
Well, I know that he has influenced a lot of lives. For instance, the National Association of Sea Dogs, the Pirates Confraternity, which he was part of the formative stage when he was in the university. I know of nothing less than about 25 million members in there whose lives have been formed. I am a living witness. My life has been shaped in a way because of the way he has presented what life is all about. The principles of life, how you must respect humanity, how you must be upright, how you must be hard, how you must be straight as a human being. Then what do you put back in a society that you have taken from? Those are lessons learned from his way of life. And I'm sure it is all these kind of things that he had done that had inspired a lot of us that we are putting our energy, resources, and this thing into continue to celebrate him. It's not as if he wants some of these things. He doesn't say no to them, but these are ways of appreciating his personality. Even the market women. If you allow Soyinka to walk on the streets of Abeokuta, you will see people following him because they may not have direct impact, but they know how much he has done for the common man, and they appreciate him. So I'll just tell the world that because he has done so much, he was also criticized as a human being anyway, Because it's not, people don't see everything that he sees the way he sees them. And people can have different views and criticize him. Fine. He doesn't even have any objection to that. He just flows into it as if he can learn from them too. He believes in the local people, he believes in the grassroots people, and he puts his life to serve. So because of this, a lot of people have taken to him, appreciating him, and a lot of people are still watching the way he's living his life. At 91, he's still up and around, working for humanity. So my preach is that people should embrace the good tenets in his life and try to be good people so that the world will be a better place to live.
Many thanks, Engineer. I'm sure there are memorable moments from the past celebrations. Just share just one memorable moment that you cannot forget from the past celebrations of Wole Soyinka's birthday, really.
I didn't get that.
The memorable moment from the past celebration of his birthday.
One thing that I have noticed is that it's not how much you throw yourself around that gives you the recognition. It is your works and your personality. Most of these things that we do, most of the time is not even around.
Oh, wow.
Unlike when somebody that wants to celebrate a birthday puts all his effort, puts all his money, and then he starts inviting people. It is the people appreciating that go out now to bring the world to come, let the world come. Let's sit down together and celebrate an icon. And because they believe it's truly an icon, and it's truly, truly worth being celebrated, people come together, they put their resources, and we'll join hands and we celebrate him.
Wow.
So that is a lesson for all.
Okay, I really like that, really. Very inspiring. Many thanks for sharing your knowledge about Professor Wole Soyinka and also putting together the planning committee. And just like you said, the celebration will be holding at Cultural Center on Sunday, 13th July.
Starting 12 noon.
Starting 12 noon.
And it will also be online for those who are interested to be there.
Many thanks for coming here today. Many
Thank
thanks
you
for
very
joining
much
us on the program. Shouldn't you say we have to
Yeah,
go
we
now?
just have to.
We're coming back.
Yeah,
really.
for training.
For training.